Hello, Mr. Smothers. You're on the air with Felix and Austin. How you doing?
Felix, Austin, I'm okay. How are y'all?
I'm great tonight.
Very well. Thank you for asking. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and chat with us tonight.
Hey, thanks. Where you guys out of 347? What area code? Where is that?
Well, the number on the show is actually based out of New York, but I'm in California and Austin is in Louisiana.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So, California, what part of California are you? What city?
In Southern California, which would be about, let's just say about the Santa Clarita Valley. I'm not sure if you're how familiar you are with the area, but I'm about an hour and a half away from Los Angeles.
All right. And
Alrighty.
the other guy, where is he?
I am Houma, Louisiana, as well, close to New Orleans, about 30 minutes away from New Orleans.
Louisiana. Oh, my God, you're both. I know where that's at.
You know where that is? Seriously?
Yeah.
Not many people know where Houma is. I mean, it's kind of a distant land.
You are a freaking Cajun. Okay.
Yes, Cajun.
Come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I eat gumbo every single day of my life. I'm not kidding.
All good. All good.
All right. Well, we could just go ahead and start it off, and just wanted to ask you about how you became a fan of professional wrestling. How did you get introduced to it?
Oh, I'm from outside of Nashville. You know, Nick Lewis, Jerry Jarrett, Jerry Lawler, of course. You know, things like that. So, you know, knee-high to grasshopper. You know, that's you were educated to. Nick Lewis is actually kind of like the Vince of the South. You know,
okay.
he did. Then Jerry Jarrett followed that. And, yeah, you know.
Nice.
No cable back then, stuff like that. But, you know, when it came on TV, it was like a big, 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 big deal. Not like now. You know what I mean? You know, with all the satellites and on demand and everything else. You know.
That's right. Gotta love how the technology's changed these days.
Yeah.
And when you decided that you wanted to become a professional wrestler, was there like a training school that you could go to? Was there somebody that kind of introduced you and brought you in? I mean, who was your trainer, and how did you go about finding out that they did train, that they were training?
Well, back then, you know, when I was, you know, in my late teens, early 20s, there wasn't many. It was very, very, very hard. You know, I would work out at American Fitness outside of Nashville. You know, one of the old I guess it's been called USWA. It's been called a lot of things. You know what I mean? Things like that. It really has. But I'd say while I was in the gym, and I actually knew Bill Dundee when I was in
nice.
8th grade. You know, I'd work out at the American Fitness Center, but I did not dare because I was like 14. You know what I mean? You know, things like that. And, you know, I would see guys like him, you know, in the gym, and on up to, you know, in college. But just it was very, very, very hard to even get someone to take the time to train you, you know?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it really was. You had to kind of prove yourself, and didn't matter what your bank account or any of that, dude. It really didn't, because there was like a lot more opportunities, you know, and things like that. It really was, guys. I mean, and you really had to prove yourself as a man, you know, to even someone to even take a nickel from you to do anything, you know, to just let you. I mean, these guys. I mean, when I see these things and I kind of feel like, you know, people look at me like they got like a turd in my mouth or something. You know what I mean? When I say that, but I'm telling you, you know, these people in the day, you know, you hear that word, man, you know, there was no, the word kayfabe meant a lot. I would not even say these to you guys. Honestly, God, I wouldn't. You know,
I believe you.
I mean, you really wouldn't. You really wouldn't. I'm going to tell you something. You know, when you're in the ring with Steve Kern, you know, and Stan Lane, and, you know, Steve Kern was a tough guy. Stan, you know, he was a woman's man, but he was a tough guy, too. I can remember that. I can see them beating guys up because they didn't have respect for our business. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, after that, and you know, and I endured, I guess, and then Tojo Yamamoto, 6 months of that, you know.
Wow.
You know, things like that, you know, and Steve and Stan were on top and went up to work for Vern Gagne with the Road Warriors. You know what I mean?
Nice.
You know, things like that, guys. You know, and you're just like, wow. You know, and I had heat with King, Jerry Lawler, you know, because they were, you know, the Fabulous Ones with Steve Kern, Stan Lane, they left on bad terms and do when I'm trying to get started, you know, stuff like that, dude. And then I went over here and I worked for George Goulis, Tojo, when he jumped, dude. Things against Jerry Jarrett. Jerry Jarrett was like the godfather. Jerry Jarrett is a guy that's so brilliant that you guys, I don't know if y'all get that, but Vince kind of stole a lot of the gimmick stuff, everything he did. He can say everything he did. Actually, it's a true story, okay? Vince McMahon came to Memphis, Tennessee, all right, just to get Jerry Lawler to work for him. Because by that time, Jerry Jarrett was not as much into it as he was. You know what I mean? When I say this, guys, I have to. He was you know, his money, he'd been made, things like that, dude, you know, that, dude. But Vince McMahon actually came to the Coliseum in Memphis to talk to Jerry Lawler. That's where he got all the gimmick stuff he do. Jimmy Hart, you know, got a lot of guys up there and stuff and do, you know, in the mid-'80s when it got going big. You know, and things like that. Everything we're saying, it's not Ultimate Fight, okay? It's not. You know, and that's what made it unique in everything he did. But Jerry Jarrett, Jerry Lawler, Nick Goulis, you know, Roy Welch, you know, the Fullers, things like that, dude. You talk about these old promoters like Don Owens, Portland, Oregon. You talk about Harley Race, Bob Geigel, Bob Brown, okay? Honestly, y'all, the Vern Gagne, you know, I'm not name dropping, I'm not being marked, I'm just telling you like it is. That's
no, please do. No, I appreciate that.
Hey, guys, Dick the Bruiser, you know what I mean? You know, I'm going down here, Fritz Von Erich, Joe Blanchard. Oh, really? That was the basis. That was the rock of honestly, of our business. And when I put out and say things that I say and do, social media and all that, and do, it's for it's for the wrestling business, y'all. It really is. It really is. I'm a beat-up, tired old man, and I should have been dead about 15, 20 years ago. I get that. You know, but anything that I say and do is not to benefit me, but it's talking about what we do. If you have me, you know, it's not good. But we is the whole deal. But when you get a lot of the top guys and everything you see, dude, everybody looks out for me. I get that. I mean, on your tax return, it's self-employed, you know, and it's just kind of sick. It's kind of crazy, dude. It's really sad. But
to go back on what you were talking about, Mr. Smothers, I actually have to agree with you on an instance here when you spoke about.
Hey, you. What's your name?
Me?
What is your name? You.
Yes, my name is Felix.
Felix.
Yes, sir.
Felix. Where on this planet are you located at?
I'm in California, sir. I'm in Southern California.
Okay, Felix. Well, you guys kind of interest me. All right, go ahead.
I just actually had to agree with you on a point that you made because I really don't feel that Jerry Jarrett gets the credit he really truly deserves. I've read up on him. I've watched a lot of the things he created. He really was he's a great man in the wrestling business.
Honest to God, honest to God, you have no idea. Getting nervous breakdowns, and dude, Jerry Jarrett was he was Vince McMahon way before Vince McMahon was Vince McMahon.
Agreed.
It's for things like that. It's the original, Vince McMahon, things like that. But he was. He really was. But wrestling business is the most brutal thing that you will ever endeavor, kid. Mentally, physically, spiritually, all the above. It really is. When you say this, it really is. It's crazy. That's why a lot of our friends are dead. It's really sad. Hey, man, I don't get many nights off or days. I really don't. I'm a pizza delivery guy. I would beat up old man at 51. You know what I mean? I want to own this little pizza place. It is great. Sandy'sPizza.net. Got to plug that. But if it wasn't for what it just said, I'd have been dead, a long time ago. Other things too. I don't want a bounty hunt. I don't want to repo cars. I can deliver. I can wrestle maybe once a week now. But it saddens me when people do things that hurt business, our business, okay? And, man, are you with me, like?
Absolutely.
No doubt.
It really does. It really is bad, and it just it's too bad. Because when you see people scamming people that are trying to do, are y'all there? Did I lose anybody? Oh,
no, not at all. We're with you.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Are you really sure, y'all? Are you sure about
Please keep up. Please keep going.
When I see these things when I post on my Facebook, and I see these guys and you have no idea. Listen, y'all, our business, I just hope that would never die. It's just sad. It's so sad when you see everybody get greedy and get crazy, man. And just stupid stuff. Because when you see, like, so much money being wasted when so many deserve, and so many that you've tried and beat your brains out when you're talking to a guy like me to help, and they've all been, told that they're no longer needed from what they do, not what they did in the ring, because they weren't good politicians or they, kiss butt or whatever it went and did. They didn't, I don't know how I'll say it. I can't even describe it, man. I've done how to revoke cars. I've done Chris Blood's Disciples, Hell's Angels, Ava Brotherhood, Mexican Mafia, and damn MS-13s, whatever you want. Whatever you want, I've dealt with it. I've dealt with it really about every freaking day. But I can deal with that. They got this wrestling bit, okay, boys? Or men, you guys with me when I say that?
No, we're definitely understanding exactly what you're saying.
You guys listen to me when I say this, okay?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've had a few beers here and there. Yeah, I've had like 3 beers. I did a 40-ounce Bud Light. About 20 minutes before I did this interview here, right? I kind of deserved that, I beat my freaking brains out. But here's what I'm going to do. New Year's Eve, Master Rich, Focus Wrestling, it's going to be in Evansville, Indiana, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to do. You ever see the movie called The Warriors? You guys ever see that? You ever hear that?
I can't say that I have.
Oh, you
Austin?
need to research it. You need to research it, young man. All right?
I will definitely do that.
You laugh and you do. You need to attend. Okay, kid? Because New Year's Eve, okay? New Year's Eve in Evansville, Indiana, it's going to be like everybody that has a love in what we do, from paying fans. And you know what? I don't like to say the word marks, because I think it's kind of disrespectful. I really do. No, I really do. And feel that, dude.
We understand.
But I tell you what, man. New Year's Eve. All right.
Yep.
Before 2014, you and I'm going to dedicate my life to show up, man, at the Metro Center in Evansville, Indiana. Everybody, we can. You know what we're going to do? We're going to have 100 matches. We're going to have 100 wrestling matches. Has that ever been done?
I don't think so.
100 wrestling matches. It's going to start at 6 o'clock Central Time, kid. An hour ahead of you. Are you with me, right?
Definitely with you.
Yes.
Hey. We're creating history here. Because I'm not playing. I'm really not. I don't even know you. Do I know you? Ever met you?
I don't think so.
Ever met you, man? You sure about that?
I'm pretty sure about it.
How old are you?
Myself, I'm actually 35.
Yeah, well, you could be a legitimate son. You know, I got a lot of that. You got to understand that. I'm just kidding. I'm not. I don't even know. You know, I'm just kidding. Anyway, you know, that's another subject. But anyway, you know, in a perfect world, okay? In a perfect world, really, Master Rich, we're going to do this. He has that Metro Center at the indoor soccer stadium, you know, in Evansville, Indiana. Everybody, including myself, you know, honestly, you know, I'm actually going to donate, you know, a lot, all right? But ticket prices, everybody wrestling, everything, dude, everybody, from the fans, from everybody, unless they're wrestling in the ring, everybody's going to donate $5. Okay? I know that sounds crazy. And then we're going to have a meeting. We're going to have wrestling matches. We're going to have a rock band. We're going to have, you know, a lot of things going down. And I'm going to, like, talk more shit that a cow can eat. But I'm not going to bullshit. We're going to organize things. And we're going to run the, you know, I got connections. I'm just, like, going to go for it. I got nothing better to do, man. I got a nice job, and I really like it, you know, and do it. I ain't asking for nothing. But any shows I want to run, I want to run my damn self. But New Year's Eve, you know, it's going to make us, you know, like, you know.
All right.
It's going to be large. You guys can laugh. You guys can talk shit, dude. I've been thinking about this for a long time.
Just the night before Christmas.
Oh, this goes overseas, right?
Oh, overseas. Yes, sir.
Actually, it gets heard around the world. Yes.
Yeah. Well, on the internet, of course it does.
Of course.
Well, anyway, New Year's Eve, Metro Center, Evansville for New Bookless Wrestling. That show is November 30th. You know, things like that. And we're going to shock the world, all that. So if you guys want to plug it, you want to say I'm crazy?
Absolutely. No, we thank you for telling us here on the air.
Get off here, you can laugh at me. You know what?
Absolutely not, Mr. Smothers. We have, above anything else, we have respect for what you contributed to the wrestling business. But we actually are not going to take too much of your time.
You know who a guy who interests me? You know what?
What's that?
There's not many of them do. Do you know who Terry Funk is?
Yes, sir. One of the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I would hope somebody would know who he is. He kind of interests me. Yeah. So you humans do know who he is.
Of course.
One of the greatest of all time, without a doubt. His whole entire family, and really.
No, I mean, that's no joke when I say that. This guy, he's gold. always go. But I do. New Year's Eve, y'all, I want to get together with everybody that loves our business. Okay, I really do, and just everybody talk, put stuff together. Our business. Here's the thing, okay. In the wrestling business, you get all that where everybody's against everybody, shutting it, everything you do. But if you get them all together and you say this, I know that from the paying wrestling fan to the people helping, running, a part of organizing things to run wrestling, pro wrestling shows, guys, I do know that they will all agree on this. They all love our business. So if I can get on New Year's Eve and just that old movie, The Warriors, and I ain't going, it's cool and everything, we get them together and do, but nobody's breaking no laws, nobody nothing. Everybody that, I'm hoping we can have 400 matches, honest to God. We can have wrestling matches start at 12 midnight. You guys get what I'm saying when I say these kind of things and do. And then everybody's put stuff together and do for our business. There is strength in numbers. And I want to hope that everybody that we are talking to or hearing everything that we are talking about right now will buy into that. It's not, honestly, y'all, it is not about me. I'm a beat-up 51-year-old man. I love being in the ring, but it takes me about a 10-minute interview to actually warm up somewhat to even do anything. And do. I get that. Believe me, I get that, because I should have been dead 20 years ago. You know what I mean? When I say that, but there's so many that deserve it, and it's up to guys like us to help them get that. You all get what I'm saying when I say that.
Yeah, with you, with all the knowledge that you have, that's you giving it to the people of today. It's so great. It's so much respect I have for you that you're doing that.
It would be really cool. Will you guys come? You guys got to come. One of you is in California. One of you is in Pennsylvania. Is that right?
No, Louisiana.
Louisiana. Home Louisiana.
Oh, my God. What part of Louisiana are you at?
Homa. Yes, the I don't even know.
You told me that. How I'm with
you. Do you even, I can't believe you even.
I got a little excuse here to be buzzed. Honestly, this is only the second day I've had off in 5 months. Things like that, Yeah, treat my job and wrestling, things like that, So, yeah. I'm a little buzzed here, but that's okay. Louisiana, home in Louisiana. Yeah, you're fucking mind. You got kind of high-pitched voice. You're not Cajun?
I guess so. Yes. I don't know how you know where home Louisiana is. Not many people do.
Sorry. I don't hold it against you. I'm actually a lot more Indian than anybody thinks. But anyway, hey, don't matter. Hey, if somebody cuts you, somebody cut my California boy here, we all bleed red, right? We're all God's children. It don't matter.
That's right.
Are you guys with me? What I'm saying?
We're listening.
Definitely.
You think I'm playing some grand game, man?
Not at all.
Come on, guys. Just cutting up. No. But I'm not cutting up. Honestly, I'm not. Hey, in a perfect world, that's the Rich told me that, New Year's Eve, at that arena, right there. And all I ask, and that's everybody. Everybody comes through any part of that building, donate $5. Because you know what that $5 goes to? It goes to running and doing. Then if we get promoters, we can get, paying wrestling fans, because I don't like to call people marks. I really think that that's disrespect. I really do, to call people marks in a perfect world. I really do. God bless them, y'all. Because you know what? If it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be us. Am I right here?
Definitely.
Hello? Hello?
What?
I lost you.
Well, if everybody pitches in, it makes kind of a unit, and that's what needs to happen. Did we lose him?
Whoa.
I think we did. I don't know. I think we're going to have to maybe end it early tonight. What do you think, Austin?
Wait, is he's still on?
No, he's not.
I don't know if we caught him at a bad time.
To be honest, I wanted to cut it 10 minutes ago.
I mean, I have respect for him, but coming on, I think he's drunk.
To be honest, I'm going to have to come right out and say it. And for those listening in tonight, on behalf of Austin and myself, we do apologize. But we're going to go ahead and cut it early tonight.
Well,
what?
If you want, we can I don't know, kind of fill an hour, and I guess talk with us. I mean, I don't want to give I know everybody's looking forward to talking to Tracy and stuff like that, and getting the questions answered because you have some people asking questions. But we didn't expect this. I mean, how can we know he was going to do this?
Well, no, that's what I was trying to say. Is on behalf of yourself and me, and a part of the show, we want to apologize to our listeners tonight. We were not aware of, nor were we expecting to have Mr. Smothers in this condition. If this bothered or offended anybody, we do send our sincere apologies. But as I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and just hang tight for now and talk about the weekend. Talk about next week.
Yeah, definitely. Bound for Glory this past Sunday night.
Yes, Bound for Glory. I was not impressed.
I was surprised.
For what it was, I think they wanted to do this AJ Styles thing kind of very similar to what they did with CM Punk when his contract was up and he was leaving with the title. But I don't know what they're trying to do with Dixie as this heel character. Where's she going with it? What's she going to do with this? I mean, there was the bounty, and, I don't know where it's going to go. I mean, obviously they gave him the title. They got him the title, but now they're rescheduling a title match for this Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that they've re-signed him? Did they put him into a one-day contract? I mean, one-day deal?
Well, they have to have some sort of deal with him, because he wrestled that match, and I would think they would have brung that in, that he didn't have a contract, into the kind of more into the storyline. Maybe have it involved in the match. If he lost, then he would be gone from TNA or something like that. I don't know, but he won the TNA World Heavyweight title this past Sunday, and Dixie, all she did was come down and just yell, I guess. That's basically all she did.
Well, she tried to distract Earl, and they made reference to the screw job that Earl was part of, obviously the Montreal one, and most were kind of hinting around to that fact that maybe Earl will try to screw AJ and side with the boss like he did before, for WWE.
And another thing about Bound for Glory is that the crowd. You seen that picture I sent you?
Yes, I did, and it's been basically broadcast all over Facebook. But yes, I mean, what it was, they made do with what they could do with it. They need a lot of work to be done with the company, but I mean, we're looking at it from a fan's perspective. Obviously, we don't know everything, but we know what we would like to see. I don't want TNA to fail. I want them to succeed.
Me either.
Because I like the fact that there's an alternative to watch besides WWE, because even WWE's, their stories get a little stale at times. Or the characters, the characters don't change, or they don't have, it's the same thing every week lately for WWE, which is why their ratings have gone down. I mean, their shows are okay, but they're not as good as they could be. And as I said, I don't mean disrespect to either company, but I want to see these guys succeed, because ultimately, not only do they benefit, but the fans benefit.
I totally agree. And I just think that TNA, honestly, I mean, it's just my opinion. Like, I'm not saying I know more or less about anything, but I think they have too much confidence. I really do. I mean, going out into the road and thinking they can sell out arenas. With Hulk Hogan just there. I mean, Hulk Hogan's not gonna. Even though I'm trying to put this, I'm kind of losing my words here. Even though Hulk Hogan is as big as he is, TNA's gonna need a lot more help to get to the level they want to be at. If that makes any sense.
Well, the thing is that they can't rely on just the nostalgia factor. Hulk Hogan will always be known as the biggest name in the history of professional wrestling. Why? Because Vince McMahon took him to the next level and got him global recognition. I mean, it was a two-way street on this. Obviously, Vince and the Hulkster both did it together. But, it's just not... he's just not the same man he was 30 years ago. I mean, the he's over 60, can't hardly move. He's gotten himself in trouble with his little porn tape that he did, and his children in trouble for what they did, and his divorce with Linda, and it's just so much drama. And people have already gotten tired of the fact that he's been around so much. Do they want him to hang it up? Of course. A lot of people are requesting maybe he just, end his career in WWE and not be so concerned about being the main attraction. His time in the wrestling business is done. He has nothing left to prove, nothing left to do. What they could use him for is to have, to be an ambassador, what Ric Flair was doing before he left for TNA. Represent the company. Your name is still valued to people. People still want to see you. Not in the ring, but they still want to see you.
Because there really isn't. I mean, if he goes to WWE, what really is he going? What is he going to do? Honestly, it's not much for him to do in WWE, with the exception of being an ambassador like Ric Flair, like Kevin Nash, or Mick Foley.
Well, that's just it though. He doesn't. He's still looking for the big paycheck, and that's something that he doesn't seem to understand. He thinks because, I'm Hulk Hogan, that he's automatically going to be given a main event level type pay. This ain't 30 years ago. Like I said, he will always be known as who he is, because anybody who, let's just say, if you ask anybody in the world who doesn't watch wrestling and ask them if they know who Hulk Hogan is, oh yeah, he's the guy that's the wrestler guy, right? Because they know him. He's a part of American pop culture. They'll always know that.
Same goes with The Rock.
Well, for this generation, absolutely. I was just going back to the mid '80s when the rock and wrestling era, but.
And another thing that happened in Bound for Glory that kind of, I don't know if it shocked me, because in my heart I kind of wanted that to happen. I don't know if that's disrespectful or not, with Kurt Angle declining his Hall of Fame induction. That was
that one threw me off quite a bit. I wasn't sure what to make of that, because it looked kind of fishy to me. And when I say that, it's because, is there a chance that he would rather be put in the WWE Hall of Fame as opposed to TNA's?
So I was thinking.
Does he really feel not ashamed of himself for what he's done? I mean, he's screwed up in the past. What's the difference now? I respect Kurt for everything he's done, no doubt. But I mean, everybody falls down. It's how they get back up and keep going that defines them. You know
what's the difference?
What's that?
And I believe this with my heart. I'm not kidding. Kurt Angle knows that there's a bunch of, TNA is only almost, I think, it's like 11 years old right now. 10 years yet, last year, I think. But they have so many people that came before him in TNA, and TNA is not that old. He just came in like 2007, was it? Yeah, 2007. And debuted there, just basically helping the company. He never really was there from the beginning. People are there from the beginning. Like, you talk about for Hall of Fame status, people like Andre the Giant. They were in WWE. He was in WWE. He was a part of wrestling for a long, long time. He gets his name in WWE Hall of Fame. But if you have a guy that just came in, like Kurt Angle, he started in 2007 in TNA and worked his way up, a few years later, and that accident being in the Hall of Fame, it's kind of like, I don't know. I wouldn't, if they did that to me, and then say if I, just making like a little example here, say if I came in, I was a huge name wrestler guy, and I came in 2009, and then a year later they're like, okay, 3 years later they're like, okay, we want to offer you a spot on our TNA Hall of Fame. I think they're basing it off of my prior accomplishments more than what I did in TNA, because what did I do in TNA? I was only there for 3 years, right? So It's kind of the same. If you understand what I'm saying, it's the same thing with Kurt Angle. There's a bunch of guys that came before him.
I definitely
that deserve
do.
it more than he does. And still,
you know,
the guys
folks
that
who are
came before
listening
him,
in tonight to the Tonight Show, if you feel like you want to kind of jump into the conversation and share your thoughts on Bound for Glory, give us a call here at area code 347-202-0399. Share your thoughts. Tweet us your thoughts. Tell us what you think. But yes, you know, Bound for Glory, it didn't have that big main event type or main attraction type pay-per-view feel. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more to it. I mean, all things aside, and I had to mention this because this was just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. That was probably the worst part of the show, was seeing Ethan Carter III, EC3. What in the blue freaking hell was that? Nobody cared. He came in and beat a jobber. I mean, This was his big debut? Come on, put him up against somebody at least recognizable. Even if it had to be, somebody who wasn't going to wrestle on the card,
Well, he is right. I know what you're saying, but he's actually a part of PWG. So I mean, PW Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. The people over there in California probably knew who he was since,
sure.
Because he was at PWG's based in California. But
when you're having somebody big like him debut on their biggest pay-per-view of the year, wouldn't you think it'd make better sense to put him up against somebody who they know?
I didn't think he should.
As far as TNA goes,
I didn't think he should have debuted on Bound for Glory at all. Do you put Bound for Glory is the biggest pay-per-view of the year? If you're putting a guy who's debuting his debut match at WrestleMania, I'm not talking about Fandango, but Fandango wrestled a few matches, but a bunch of matches before him. But was it a few matches? His first match at WrestleMania?
Well, he wrestled a few matches, but
before.
It was something like that.
Yeah, but
that was kind of, they were working their feud with Jericho. But it's kind of like putting Fandango to debut at WrestleMania against Hornswoggle. And not even really Hornswoggle. You want to put in, we'll just say Joe Blow off the streets. We're going to put him in the ring and have him wrestle at the biggest pay-per-view of the year.
I was just trying to get at it, yes. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you put in like a guy who's making his debut on WrestleMania against somebody you don't really know. It doesn't make sense. It's the biggest show. Why would you do that on the biggest show of the year? They should have done that on Impact on Thursday or something like that. That would have been better. It kind of killed the momentum, People, I love Derek Bateman, Michael Hutt or whatever, EC3, whatever he's called. He has a bunch of names, but he shouldn't have debuted on Bound for Glory this past Sunday. I don't think he had his place there, and I was looking forward to seeing him debut, but I don't think it should have happened right then and there.
Well, we'll see where it goes from here. I like the going into Raw. I like the idea of a show appearing and people wondering how that happened. I really am anticipating the return of Vince soon. I'd like to see where they go with this, and will it lead into WrestleMania? It's possible, because at this point they feel Vince obviously still gets the ratings, and many can't disagree with that fact.
It's kind of a fact. I mean, he comes back and then all of a sudden the ratings go up. So I guess it's like it's proven. He's done it every single time.
Yeah, the old bastard still got it. But going back to what was mentioned earlier, I really do think that at one point or another, WWE really do need to recognize the accomplishments of Jerry Jarrett. I really feel he's totally not even given the credit he really truly deserves. You think about that. You think about guys like he mentioned, Bill Dundee, or even somebody else who came to mind was Gary Hart. You ask the kids today who that guy is, they wouldn't have a clue. Who he managed, some of the big names he managed in his career. He was definitely one of the top managers out there at the time.
Talk about another thing. The Hell in a Cell this Sunday. We have Shawn Michaels. That's one of the questions I wanted to ask, Tracy, that, what if he was put in that place, because he was actually one of the guys that trained Daniel Bryan. If he was put in that place, what would he do,
Well, like I said, we do apologize that things couldn't work out the way we would have liked to. We were nowhere near anticipating what we got tonight. This is not any kind of inkling as to how we operate, and we mean no disrespect to this gentleman Mr. Smothers, ever. We don't mean disrespect. We actually were enjoying the conversation very much. But we had to draw a point. We had to draw a line somewhere. And therefore, we at this point, when we lost the call, I don't think he decided to call back at that point, or nor he remembered the number. But we apologize. This is not how we work.
We have next week's guest. Next week's guest is actually...
Yeah, tell us a little bit about this dude. You obviously know him pretty well.
Yes, next week's guest. He's huge on around Louisiana in the South. You've probably seen him on WCW TV a couple months back. He wrestled there, but he's formerly the Elite World Heavyweight Champion. A few months ago, he's not now, but his name is Purple Haze, and he is awesome. One of the best that he was in PWI. One of the best in Louisiana, without a doubt. And I have really high hopes for him in the future. I mean, he has it. He's definitely a fan favorite. More than a fan favorite. Everybody loves him. Actually, you want to categorize like this. He embodies New Orleans. He's the guy. He's raised in New Orleans, born and raised, and he is all about having a good time and stuff like that. He's great. He really is.
Agreed. I definitely look forward to speaking with him and continuing on. We're approaching into November. Got some big guests on deck for November, and hopefully December to close out the year with a bang. We have actually tossed around the idea of doing a best of this year. I think it'd be fun. I don't know. I mean, the best of the show to kind of look back on some of the great moments we've had over the last 12 months, almost 12 months. Sometime in December, we could possibly do that, maybe on a Saturday show, or even if we don't, no, we probably need to get a guest, probably for a Saturday show.
Yeah, we can talk about the infamous fish patty, Jim Cornette. That was one of my favorites. I still remember that to this day. That was really funny. I mean, we were both laughing.
And we can even talk about the debut of Austin James on Pipebomb Radio. The very first episode.
Right? Austin James. One and only.
The one and only nervous kid who didn't really speak.
Well, I mean, especially with this show right here with Tracy Smothers. If I'm not making any sense right now, it really caught me off guard. We both weren't expecting it. I mean, it really caught me off guard, and I don't know if I'm making any sense. It probably not, but that's probably the reason why.
No, because the way I was looking at it is that he was going to be a storyteller like Blackjack was.
He was at the beginning.
Blackjack was on into his stories, and all we could just do is sit back and listen because he was telling some stories, and they were actually interesting. I don't really know how else to approach this because I don't mean any disrespect to anybody, but it is what it is. So we'll leave it at that and kind of move on. And as far as anything else goes, you and I will just talk privately, Austin. But as far as tonight's show goes, it didn't go as planned. We do apologize for that. We did capture a little bit of the interview we had with Mr. Smothers, and we'll look to coming to this Saturday night. There is a good chance that I will actually be absent this Saturday. So the reins of the show will be left in the hands of, guess who? Austin.
Thank God. Finally, the man who has a plan gets to control the show and kick the other guy out the door for a week. Thank God. I've been waiting for this moment for months. I cannot even tell you.
Okay. So you think you can do better?
Without it, I can always do better. I know how to run a show.
Well, goody gumdrops. He knows how to run the show. The teacher wants to surpass a student now, huh? Or the student wants to surpass a teacher.
Mhm. Have a nice day.
We'll see. Excuse me?
Oh, I was, say have a nice day, Have a nice day on Saturday. I hope you have a nice day, while I control the show and show you how it's done.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Thank God. I can't even. This is going to be great.
Will you shut up?
The best week of my entire life on this show. This is, me and Dylan are going to have some fun, I can tell you that.
Well, we'll see. And, yes, I will be listening in, and I will be critiquing. I will be judging how your performance was. And by all means, folks, those who listen into this Saturday night show, Don't be afraid to call in and tell him what you think. Tell him you missed the king, the boss, the king of the bada bing. Me. I had to mention that because that's what I do.
I'm the king of kings.
Whatever. Bow down to who?
Triple H. Well, bow down to Triple H because he's the best for business.
See Triple H get his ass knocked out.
And I am what's best for business. Saturday night, you're going to see what's best for business. I'm going to tell you down the middle.
You know what I found funny? I actually want to bring this up before we cut it out of here. I thought it was pretty interesting how Triple H was pushing and Stephanie both were pushing the issue of, you guys chose him, and you guys chose that you thought he would be the best for business and best for to do the match. Remember, you guys chose him. Did you notice how they kept repeating that?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think Triple H and Shawn are in cahoots.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Hey, they did it.
It's going to be interesting to see where it goes, because at this point, I would like to say that Randy's probably going to get the title at this point. I still think it's too soon for Bryan to get it, but we'll see. Definitely want to hear what you guys' predictions are for Hell in a Cell this Sunday night. But
we would love to hear your predictions because Oliver's are usually wrong. We've proven that to be true for the past weeks. And El Torito is probably going to invade the match and ruin everything for the entire pay-per-view. So that's my prediction. So how about yours? Is that pretty close?
Well, you know what? It is what it is. I mean, like I said, we're not pros at this. We call it like we see it. If we're wrong, hey, it won't be the first time. Probably won't be the last. But I guess at this point, I'm going to go ahead and just plug in our website. It is pipebombRadios.webs.com. Check it out for all of our past episodes of Pipe Bomb Radio and Saturday Night Slam. Also, if you actually are able to go ahead and give time to check out the Pro Wrestling 101 link on our website for the one and only Just Incredible. He's definitely taken that whole web series, the whole Pro Wrestling 101 concept, to new heights. And if you don't hurry, you'll definitely miss that train. It's definitely worthwhile to listen to what man's got to say.
Yeah, and if you want something sweet, don't watch the show because he doesn't sugarcoat it. I keep on saying that, but it's the truth. He tells you some great stuff. If you're a future, if you want to, go into professional wrestling in the future, or if you just really want to have that knowledge right now, if you're too young, I guess, to do it, watch the show. It's really good. Really informative, too.
Agreed. I actually read an article that he did on his PW Mania article that he did about
Raw review.
I guess the altercation between he and Matt Stryker.
Oh, that, yeah.
I'm glad he addressed it because I know the wrestling dirt sheets were already throwing up, oh my God, they had this altercation and this happened. And
they blew it out of the sky.
They completely did. And I'm glad that Justin addressed that whole situation. It is what it is. Obviously, they're going to continue on with their feud and so forth. They are professionals, and that's what they do, and more power to them.
And even this situation that happens is only going to fuel their fire for their feud. It really will.
I would actually love to see those two in the ring to see how they're going. I would love to go with one of their live shows, I just wish I would be able to travel a little bit more, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. As far as that goes, I think we plugged yes, if you want to keep track of what we're doing on our social media, it's also best to go ahead and check out the website as well, as I mentioned earlier. You can check us out on Facebook, like our page, follow us on Twitter. We got Google+, Instagram, Pinterest. Rate us on iTunes. What do we need work on? We're nowhere near perfect. We could always, be better at something else. We can always improve something on the show, I'm sure. Like Austin's heel character. Just kidding. Just kidding.
What all of you can do? You can actually improve your health. Because I know all of you need, your health needs to be improved. While you're improving your health, you can listen to all of our past shows of Pipebomb Radio by going on the iTunes page. There's all the episodes. And you can do it while you're running, which is desperately needed.
I know you ain't talking to me.
Oh, no, I'm talking to everybody. Everybody's listening to the show.
I know. I'm just messing with you. Well, we're going to go ahead and call it a close for tonight, folks. We hope you enjoyed our discussion as far as Bound for Glory and what the events so far in wrestling, and the little bit of the interview we did get with Mr. Smothers. No disrespect to him, he's definitely a wrestling legend.
The first 10 minutes of it were great.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was
but,
great. The first
that's just it. That's all we'll comment on at this point. We'll leave it at that. We hope you enjoy what we were able to capture. And make sure you guys tune in to Saturday night, as Austin will be the one in charge. Listen in, tell them what you like, tell them what you don't like.
Thank you, Jesus.
And just have fun with it, guys. Have fun with the show. I know I'm leaving it in good hands. I know that they will make me proud. They'll make sure that I'm not putting it in the wrong person's hands.
Nope.
And, of course, we have next Tuesday night as well with Purple Haze joining us to close out the month of October. So on behalf of Austin, this is Felix for Pipebomb Radio saying keep your feet on the ground, guys, and keep reaching for the stars. Good night, everybody. Good night, Austin.
Amen.